Hey everyone, Jamie here from TechnicalCafe.com. Since a couple days ago on June 12th, Apple's iOS 7 was revealed at the WWDC in California, which is held every year around this time. I figured I'd make a quick video, just run through kind of the new features that are coming out in iOS 7 and some of the new design changes that are going to be made, since this is probably one of the most substantial updates to the look and feel of the operating system, and it also includes some new features as well over the history of iOS. So I actually wrote a blog post about it on TechnicalCafe.com. If you go there, it's just called iOS 7, and it's also linked in my Twitter if you happen to be following me, or on the Technical Cafe Twitter, it's there as well. So what I did in the blog post is just write a quick overview of what's going to be happening. Most of the information came from the Apple website, so it's pretty legit. So let's just scroll down and see what we have changes, and what's changing in the operating system, rather. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is the user interface and design in iOS. Pretty much over the past few incarnations of iOS, everything stayed the same in terms of look. I know the dock changed. It became more like clear and glossy in one of the last operating system updates, but this operating system update has a bunch of changes. Everything looks completely different. Many of the Apple official apps are changing around, the way they look, the way they run, and the icons are also different as well. So that's one of the biggest updates that's happened so far. So the user interface is going to be different because the notes, camera, weather, stocks, all those app icons are changing. And not just the icons themselves, but the actual programs are going to be running differently as well. And we'll look at those features on the Apple website in a little bit. So another new update that's not related to design is the Control Center, which if you have an Android phone, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. If you swipe up on the Apple, anywhere on the Apple screen, even if you're in lock mode, you'll be able to access the Control Center. And the Control Center enables you to see what song's playing, if you have any messages or anything like that, and adjust all the settings and stuff like that. Kind of like when you double tap the home button and scroll over, you can change the volume and stuff like that. This is what the Control Center is going to be able to let you do. You can put the phone in airplane mode, you can turn on and off Wi-Fi, you can turn on rotate lock, adjust the screen brightness, and again, view information about music and phone volume and stuff like that. So this is a neat feature so you don't have to go around and change everything manually in the settings and stuff like that. Another new update, which is an update to a previously existing thing in the operating system, is the Notification Center. And this has been around for the last few versions of iOS. I think it came out in iOS 5 or 6. But this is going to be the same process. You just swipe down, and you can see if you have any new text messages. You can see if you have any notifications, reminders, calendar updates, anything like that. So that's pretty much staying the same, but there are some new updates to that as well. And multitasking is actually going to be completely different than what we're used to. In iOS 6, the current version of iOS, if you double tap on the home button, it'll open up on the bottom all the apps that are running in the background on the iPhone. And while it will still do this in iOS 7, you're actually going to be able to flip through and actually view what the apps are doing and what you can see on the screen, which is a nice feature, so you can see, before you close an app, what's there if you don't want to lose anything, and stuff like that. And there are a bunch of other updates. The camera's going to work differently. For example, the Photos app is going to allow you to organize pictures by the way they're taken and put them in different albums and stuff like that. So it's going to be pretty neat to see all these features. So let's head over here to the Apple website and take a look at what some of these things are going to look like. So here's what the lock screen is going to look like. You're going to see all these apps here. You'll notice that most of them are different. The messages stayed the same, but a lot of the other app icons changed. So if we come down to design here, again, you'll see what it looks like. The dock here you can see is more Android-esque. I guess you could say it's more flat and it's not as shiny as it was in the previous version of iOS. You'll also notice that messages looks different. Everything's more grayscale kind of. This is true throughout the whole operating system. A lot of it's more gray and blue and black. It's not as dark as it previously was. Here's the calendar. You'll notice that that's also different. What I think Apple was going for, and as it says here, it's a pure representation of simplicity, so it's trying to make everything more simple than what we're used to. Here are a couple more apps. The weather app's going to be different in that it's going to actually start showing animations, like if you use the weather app, Weather HD. It's going to, like if it's raining outside, you're going to see rain coming down on the app. It's going to be pretty cool. So let's come over here to features, and you can see here that all these apps are going to be updated, and you can see what they're going to be doing. So here's what the control center looks like. You'll be able to change your settings, put on AirDrop, change the music, change the volume, put the phone into airplane mode, stuff like that. The notification center is pretty much similar, but it's going to have a lot more options. Like you're going to be able to see what you're doing today, all of your notifications, and as well as the ones that you've missed. And multitasking, like I said, you're going to be able to switch through and see what the apps are actually doing, what's on the screen in the apps, and that's going to be really helpful so that you don't accidentally close something that you might be working on or something like that. And so you also don't have to switch to the app and then switch back if you wanted to see information that you have in one app. The camera, again, is another update. The camera is actually now going to feature kind of filters kind of like Instagram has. You're going to be able to choose the filter that you want right when you take the picture. And actually you can try them out here, so they're going to have all these filters that you can use. And you're going to be able to just swipe over to select video or photo or square. So it's kind of cool that you're going to be able to do this. Again, photos, you're going to be able to organize all your photos and see them in albums and where they were taken and stuff like that, depending on how you'd like to organize them. And you're also going to be able to share them through iCloud and AirDrop as well, so you can just send it to someone if you'd like to do that. Safari, the app, if you haven't noticed, is also changed, and you're going to be getting a couple user interface changes on Safari as well. Kind of like on the desktop version of Safari where you can scroll through and see which websites you visited and stuff like that. You're going to be able to do that here as well. And you can notice that the aesthetics are also different. Another new feature is iTunes Radio, which is kind of like an iHeartRadio type app, I want to say. It's going to let you stream music from a bunch of online radio stations, and you're going to be able to do that for free. And you can just tune to the station and just listen to whatever music that they happen to be playing. Siri's also going to be different. I don't know too much about it, but you're going to be able to change the voice of Siri. You're going to be able to, I believe there's a male and a female, and I believe the female voice, which we're used to, is also being updated, so I'm going to be able to do that as well. And again, the App Store is going to be getting an update. Just going to rearrange the way that things are laid out and stuff like that. That also happened in, I believe, the last iOS operating system update as well, where they changed around the way the App Store looks. And Find My iPhone is still going to be there. They're going to be adding a couple more features that you're going to be able to display a message and all that stuff if you lose your iPhone. And another new feature that I personally don't think I'll be using is that you're going to be able to integrate iOS better with your car. Like we can see here, this car has looks like iOS maps on it and stuff like that. So you're going to be able to take calls and stuff from your car if your car supports those that option. As for the devices that iOS 7 will be compatible with, you're going to be able to use it on the iPhone 4, 4S, 5, both the iPod Touch 16GB and the 32 and 64, and every iPad from the iPad 2 up, including the iPad mini. The iPhone 4 and 4S, I believe the iPhone 4 is not going to support all of the features. I'm not sure about the 4S, but the iPhone 5 will be able to support everything, and I believe this is still the main iPhone that they're using, as no new iPhone was announced yet. So this is just a quick overview of iOS 7. If you have any questions or anything, or know any more information about it, please feel free to post it in the comments below. And if you have any video ideas or anything, please feel free to let me know. Thanks for watching.